Hey guys, it's Chase again. Just wanted to talk about a little bit about this weekend in the English Football League, formerly known as the Sky Bet Championship. I'm guessing it's still called that. It's still sponsored by Sky Bet, but I guess everything League One, League Two, the championship's all under the English Football League EFL banner now. So a few big changes like that. We saw Barclays being removed from the Premier League title. I think everybody will always call it the BPL or for the next few years until we get used to the fact that there won't be a sponsor, or I'm thinking probably next season they'll probably have a sponsor again, or going forward they might have somebody else come on board to sponsor the league. But getting back to the English Football League, so this is the weekend, first weekend of the season. Honestly, I was really looking forward to this, and I'm really glad it started a week prior to the start of the Premier League season. So we got a little bit of action before we kicked off the Premier League season. We got to see the championship. I think the championship is going to be more interesting this year because of big clubs like Aston Villa and Newcastle being down there. Even Norwich, who came out firing this weekend with a big 4-1 victory over, was it Barnsley? I could be wrong on that. Yeah, something like that. I gotta pull up the scores. Probably should do that if I want to talk about it. But I saw a few games over here in the States. We only get a few games. I never was 100% confirmed about that on whether or not every game is televised in the UK or in other parts of the world. I'm guessing that it's not, because I think Sky Sports has the exclusive rights to air the games. So I'm guessing there's only 3 or 4 that are televised every week, even maybe not even that much. Could be just 1 or 2. But over here in the U.S., we have a network called BN Sports, BEIN Sports, and it's a channel that probably the biggest attraction for the channel for most people is soccer and football. But they do show other sports. Motocross, boxing, swimming, all kinds of different sports. But soccer, obviously, when soccer season's on, that's their biggest attraction, as they show League One from France, Serie A from Italy. They also show, I think those are the 2 biggest European domestic leagues. The Bundesliga is Fox Sports over here, and obviously the Premier League is NBC. So those are the 4 biggest leagues. I think they show other stuff. They show other leagues. Maybe, no, I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to check back into that. But the one league that they do have, and I'm really glad somebody televises it, is the English Championship, which in some instances is more exciting than the Premier League. Not all the time. And yes, overall, I would much rather watch the Premier League than the Championship. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to watch the Championship. I think it's exciting soccer, exciting football. And I wish they would televise more games. So I was glad that this weekend that they decided to show Newcastle and Villa. I'm guessing going forward that probably will be the case, as they are big clubs, and they will probably get more coverage than smaller clubs like Burton Albion, who did get some pop this weekend. They were televised against Nottingham Forest, so that was cool to see. I just would love to see a game televised from Pirelli Stadium, the 6,000 seater. I am pulling from this year. I'm pulling for Burton Albion. Obviously, I'm a Bournemouth fan, so I like small clubs. I like to see small clubs succeed, and Burton Albion fits that type to the T. So, unfortunately, they lost to 4-3 to Nottingham Forest. I saw that game on Saturday. I missed the live feed. I think I watched a few minutes of it when I was at home on lunch break of the Fulham-Newcastle match. Obviously, Fulham winning right out of the gate. That's not good for Newcastle. I still think Newcastle is heavily favored to at least finish in the top 3. If not get automatic promotion, they will be in the playoff. So it's just a tough start. I think a lot of pressure, because everybody is predicting them to win the league, and I mean that's a lot. Not only get in the playoffs, but achieve automatic promotion, but win the championship as well. So you want to win the whole league. You put a lot of pressure on this team. This team has a lot to live up to, and it's almost I mean, yeah, Aston Villa have some problems, and people have been talking about them being relegated. I don't think that's going to happen, but you'd almost say that you'd rather be in Aston Villa's situation right now, not having a ton of pressure, not being expected to do much. Obviously, the Villa fans would love to see their team go right back up. They're not expecting that, I think. I think they're hoping for it, and they will still be, they'll still be disappointed and pissed off if their team doesn't get back up. But I don't think it would be shocking if they didn't, if they finished like mid-table somewhere. I don't think it'd be such a surprising result for them. So Newcastle, on the other hand, a ton of pressure, a lot to live up to, and if they don't, it'll be seen as a drastic underperformance, and something that maybe they might have more of a problem staying in the championship if they were to have a tough season this year. I also would be interested to see if Benitez is going to stay the whole year. If for instance, they have a bad start to the season, and it might not even be Newcastle higher ups wanting him to leave. He might want to leave. He might want to leave the sinking ship while he can. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's pure speculation on my part, but it would be interesting to see how that dynamic would go if they had a tough start to the season. Obviously, it's just one game. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Getting way ahead of ourselves if you're already looking at Newcastle and having a tough season. I think it was a weird game. It was on Friday. It's the first game of the season. It's a lot of pressure right off the bat. I think they'll get into the flow of it, and they'll make it a good season. And I do still expect Newcastle to go right back up. I think along with them, I think Sheffield Wednesday, who I watched today, yes, they only got one goal, but it was against a tough opponent in Leeds. Leeds isn't a not Leeds. Gosh. Aston Villa. Yeah, against Villa. Leeds was against QPR. Sorry. Not an easy opponent. Villa is a Premier League club. Should be in the Premier League. Got demoted. So they're also wanting and having huge goals in mind to get right back up to the Premier League next year. So not an easy game to play right off the bat. But I think Sheffield's a strong team. I think they showed that last year. They're one goal away last year from getting to the Premier League and beating Hull City. Honestly, I would have rather seen them, because Hull City, I think I would have as 20th locked down. I would put serious money on Hull City being 20th and being relegated easily. They'll be locked in for sure. I don't want to say that. I want to see other clubs do well in the Premier League. The Hull situation right now is even worse. Deame came over, who's all in Newcastle, also left, along with Steve Bruce, along with others. Hull City is a tough situation right now. So I would have rather seen Sheffield win the playoff final last season and seen them be in the Premier League rather than seeing Hull, who will struggle this year heavily, be in the Premier League. So, but can't do anything about that now. But I do look at Sheffield Wednesday as a favorite to at least be in the playoff, if not in the top 2 or 3 in this season. So, Nottingham Forest, Burton Albion, very fun game to watch. 7 goals. I didn't think the defensive capabilities of either team was great. Nottingham Forest, this is maybe a warning sign. Obviously, you did get the win, but maybe this is something you got to be a little worried about if you're a Forest fan right off the bat. You gave up 3 goals to Burton Albion. I'm not trying to down Burton. I'm rooting for him. I'm pulling for him. This team is young. This is a League 2 side who have made the jump. We all know how possible things are now with Bournemouth's rise. This is still a very inexperienced and young side. Putting 3 up on Nottingham, I would say maybe Nottingham has to fix that back line and turn things around quickly, because that's probably not a result you would have liked to have had on the first day. You still got the W, you still got the 3 points. That's important, but something maybe to look at going forward. The other game, I didn't see it live either. BN likes to, and I like the way they do it. They do like a package a package show where they do what's called 90 and 30. So 90 minutes packed into 30 minutes. They'll cut the game down. They'll edit it, trim it. The most important moments of the game will be shown to you in 30 minutes instead of the 90, full 90, which saves them programming space and saves you time. So you get to see the best of the whole game. Obviously, I like to watch games live like anybody else, but when you don't have time, or if you missed the original live showing, you don't really have a choice at that point. And then the 30 minutes is a good way to get everything that you didn't see. But QPR coming out of the gate, firing. I had leads. I wanted to post my predictions. Didn't get a chance to before the weekend started. I could probably still do a video and showing who I think is going to be the teams will get promoted, teams that will get relegated. But I had Leeds as somebody who could possibly finish in the top 6. This is not a great start for Gary Monk. I thought he'd be a good fit for Leeds. Leeds obviously lost a few pieces. Lewis Cook I know of personally because he's on Bournemouth now. But I thought Gary Monk, who did a great job with Swansea and really showed everyone how small clubs can succeed in the Premier League, and I thought he was going to be a great fit for them. But that did not. It's only one game, so we can't really give a verdict yet. So not a great start out of the gate. QPR though, wow, it's very good start for them, and be interested to see how they will be going forward. They're a club that I think a lot of people have expected to stay in the Premier League, and a club that probably should be in the Premier League, but maybe they'll have a chance going forward this year. So that's it. I think there was 3 or 4 games. I think we covered all 4 of them this weekend that I was able to watch. Other games that I saw, Norwich got off to a great start. I think that's against Barnsley. I can't remember though. 4-1. That was good to see. So a few teams that I think are going to be favorites. Probably Norwich, Newcastle, Norwich, Sheffield, maybe Brighton, Hove, who will play tomorrow. Or did they already play? No, I think they drew. Yeah. I can't remember who they drew against. I'll have to look at the scoreboard again. Brighton, Hove, Sheffield, Norwich. I think those 3, along with, I thought Leeds maybe, only one game. I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. I think there'll still be somebody who could jump in. I didn't look at QPR as somebody who could jump back in, but they could going forward. So probably do another video. I'm starting to ramble a little bit, but great first weekend. Glad soccer football is back in England. Next weekend, I hope to give my predictions for the Premier League before we start off there, and then I'll give a prediction week by week of who I think is going to win that weekend or that match day by match day. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching.